like how different production systems are there, how we choose there are different kinds of production systems, and we have to choose the appropriate production system based on the kind of company strategy we are going to follow. Like for example, like if the uh, if you are competing on variety, you have to for one kind of production system. Competing on say volumes or price, then we have to go for another kind of production system. So uh, and also like how to design certain design aspects of production systems. Um, somebody has some clarification? Need some clarification? Huh? Anyway, like let us see, like as we have seen, so any production system uh, involves a transformation process. These processes can be classified into three types, that is transformation by integration, transformation by disintegration, transformation by service. Now, most of the production systems come under third category. So, what we mean by transformation by integration? So, transformation by integration means you have most of the production systems belong to this, like physical systems. Like, for example, you take automobile company. There are they have to integrate around 6,000 parts. They have to buy or make 6,000 parts, and then finally they have to assemble them to make a car. So that is what call it as transformation by integration. That is, you have to buy say radiator cap from one company, nuts and bolts from another company. There are certain proprietary items which you will only make because there is a technology secrecy there involved. You don't want to share the technology with outsiders because that is main competitive edge you have, right? So certain technologies you will keep to yourself, and the rest of the things you get it from outside, and finally you make a car. So, um, so um, most of the production assembly oriented production systems comes under this. Whereas transformation by disintegration means here you will take only one input, but you end up giving multiple variety of output. So,
Producing steel and everything from raw iron ore.
uh, uh,
Producing some steel and all
uh,
from raw material.
uh, uh. Yeah,
We
actually,
get various outputs, no sir.
rather than steel,
Crude oil.
mainly crude oil. Crude oil is the best example because you take crude oil and you derive so many variety of products out of crude oil. Like one is petrol, diesel, grease, gas, natural gas, Vaseline, so many cosmetic and even certain perfumes are also produced from same single source. So similarly, like you take any wood-based industry, they take forest wood and then various kinds of furnitures, right? So a kind of single material coming, and then like to some extent even you can include steel production. But only thing is in steel production, the inputs is ferrous, ferrous oxide, or what you call, you have to use that mineral and then a few other raw materials, steel, like Vizag steel, right? So transformation by disintegration means like, whereas transformation by service means whatever the inputs that you are using, you don't see any physical change in them. Like for example, if you take transformation by integration, there is a physical change in the inputs, right? If you take a ceiling fan, like you collect what you call motor from one manufacturer, and then structure from other guy, and then you will integrate. So the formation, whatever. Hello. So here, what we do is there is a physical change, like a disintegration. What you see, physical, you see a lot of change in the physical shape and size and structure in the first two cases. Whereas in the transformation by service mean, absolutely you don't see any physical change in the inputs. Like, so that's why it is called as transformation by service. Say, for example, heat treatment plant. Like for example, you treat like annealing process, any metallurgical process where you need quenching, annealing kind of operations. You to relieve stresses, what you do is you heat treat them, but there is no physical change in the. So whether it is heat treated or not, you can't just see, just you can't guess by just seeing it. So, but there is a value addition in it. Similarly, like transformation by service is like our own educational institution. So NIT Warangal is also a production system. It is a production system which comes under the category of transformation by service, because you come in, you see, except for difference in aging, there is no physical change in you. Still, people will recognize you as the same boy. Your parents will recognize you as the same, but there is a value addition to you. You have learned so many subjects, but this learning doesn't result in any physical changes in you. So this is like there is a but there is a value addition. There is a value addition, and you are no more same boy as you what you have entered here into NIT Warangal. So transformation by service, now this is the most dominating sector of any advanced academic system. Like for example, like most of the, like if you take Europe or US, say US, 70 to 80% of the economy belongs to service sector. Like it may be banking, tourism, like like our movie system. So you watch Lagan, like that is also a kind of transformation by service. It gives a lot of enjoyment, but it doesn't result in any physical changes in you. But there is a change in mental status. So this is what, so transformation by service is now the, and transformation by service is the toughest kind of production system. Why? Because most of the, like, for example, why it is like, for example, you take any public transportation system. Public transportation system is airlines or electricity, state electricity boards, and hotels, banking. See, these are all, there are certain, because here in transformation by service, most of the 90 or 80% of the that category, you need to synchronize input with the output. Like if you take, like say NTPC Ramagundam, NTPC Ramagundam, it should produce electricity, dynamically change its output as per the consumption happening in various places. So daytime it may produce, say, at 90 plant load factor, but in night it has to operate at 70, because you can't store electricity, you know, in large scale. You have to synchronize input with the output. So large scale. So synchronization is like, similarly, like if you take telecom, the like um, you can't what you call store the services. Services are normally have to be dynamically matched with the output. Like for example, if you take aeroplane, once the aeroplane takes off, all the empty seats in the aeroplane, they are, you can't generate any money out of it. So it is permanently lost. So that's why, like whereas this kind of issue doesn't arise in transformation by integration or disintegration. See, if there is no, sometimes even if there is no demand, you try to produce. Like for example, you take say air conditions. Air conditions are done by transformation by integration. But air conditions, you still produce even during the lean period like winter, because you can instead of keeping the whole manufacturing system idle, what you do is you may run at 70%, and so that when you have peak demand during summer, maybe peak requirement maybe 130% of your production capacity. So in that case, what you do, you overproduce during lean period and try to cope up with the demand during peak season. But that kind of facility is not available in transformation by service. Like all the empty seats in a aeroplane, once it takes off from the airport, or you can't do anything about them. You can't store it. You can't transfer it to next flight. They're dead. So similarly, like electricity, you can't store it. Maybe now in future they may store, like just like Elon Musk has given a, he has created a mega battery in Australia to stabilize the grid in Australia. Say, for example, he has by creating a mega battery like which can store 100 megawatt of energy, he could stabilize the whole grid of Australia, because Australia is a very thinly populated population, and you have to supply electricity to remote places, and maintaining such kind of electricity grid for such a thinly populated population is a challenge. So Elon Musk said, like, you hand over your grid to me, I will see that it is run. And Elon Musk proved to be correct. So large scale, so storing service, big challenge. So it has to be synchronized with the time. So and you have to tune. So whatever whereas transformation by integration or transformation disintegration, you don't have that kind of issues, right? But unfortunately, most of the production systems, modern production systems, are transformation by service, whether it is banking or whatever it is, railway reservation system. Fortunately, what is happening is in service, like thanks to internet, the internet has really is helping the service industry, particularly this banking. For example, because of internet banking, queuing, waiting for service, it has become a history. For example, when I joined in 1987 in NIT Warangal, I had to spend a whole day to get my railway ticket to Delhi because I have to go there, stand in the queue, and similarly, but by the time I reach the counter, that fellow says there is no vacancy. Your seat is your berth is 10, waiting list 10. So, but now with internet, the whole service sector has changed. Like for example, now I can book railway ticket in IRCTC within 5 minutes. I need not be in queue. That means the queue counters are infinite almost, right? And I know before what I am going to get. I know like whether there is a vacancy in the train or not. What are the different options? What are the packages? Like so many. Like now, the railways also have started charging premium prices for if you are a Tatkal user. So there is a significant change in the third category because of internet, right? So you can book your cinema tickets online, whereas previously you have to go to the cinema hall, stand in the queue, get the. So most of the queues have disappeared because of internet, because of the virtual increase in the queues, counters, right? So you are no more physically limited by single counter. That has disappeared, right? So now the most of these and in most of the advanced economies, transformation by service is the dominant sector of the economy. What kind of crisis you mean? Service sector means what? Yeah. In service sector, I don't know how to see. Like, who is asking this question? See, in service, there is a peak. See, in service sector, there is a peak time and a lean time. I told you, electricity board. Like in electricity board, what you do is like you have daytime. In fact, transformation by service. What sometimes people do now to synchronize input with the output, they try to make the load on the system even. Sometimes they go for differential pricing mechanisms. Differential pricing mechanism means, like for example, around 10 or 15 years back, most of the telecom charges used to be like daytime charges. When compared with the daytime charges, the nighttime charges were 1/4. So we used to wait up to night 10 o'clock, then only we used to call our relatives because it is 1/4 the charge. So you, so those who are cost conscious and then those who want to minimize their bills, they are using after 10 o'clock. So thereby, what is happening is the telecom people could balance the load on the telecom infrastructure. Similarly, like the same thing is happening now in America about with respect to electricity usage. The peak time usage of electricity is more chargeable than non-peak. So that's why it seems in US they don't use their washing machines during daytime. What they do is they automatically uh, they have a provision in their washing machine to automatically on the washing machine say after the during the non-peak demand period where the electricity charges are less. So that is how like so in what you people do in service is to make the like we call it as yield management. That means you plan your services so that you have an even load. Okay? So this kind of strategy is coming even in the case of electricity generation, where what people are doing is nowadays, since to build 100 megawatt lithium-ion battery is very expensive because so what people are doing is at the dam they are constructing reversible turbines. What they do is during non-peak demand, what they use these reversible turbines to pump back water from the tail pond to again to upper side. So when there is a peak demand, they make a kind of hybrid production through aluminum batteries. What is this? Aluminum batteries have not heard. See, aluminum, there is nothing like aluminum. Lead acid batteries are there. But the lithium ion is now, see, lithium ion battery is not a cheap battery. It is a bit expensive at the bigger level. So anyway, what people are doing is they are trying to, like for example, if you take electric vehicle makers are considering. See, I'm not able to see these messages.
Sir, please open the chat box, sir, on your bottom right.
Bottom right.
You have to open WebEx, I guess.
But this is, I'm sharing this screen now, like just, yeah. Yes. Chart. Yeah. Sir, are aluminum better cheaper than lithium ion? No. Like, see, still aluminum is not entering into this battery business, no? Sir, electric vehicle makers are considering aluminum batteries over lithium ion. Oh, this is a news to me. Because if that is possible, then there is nothing like that. Because aluminum is the most abundant material on earth. Bauxite, the raw material for aluminum, is very abundant material. But lithium ion, see, lithium ion, no. Lithium is not abundant here. No. Lithium ion, lithium is available generously in Afghanistan, not in India. So, in fact, they have a $2 trillion lithium.
Sir, even
Or
though it is abundant, it may not be perfectly suited, sir. Like it may not be having without drawbacks. There may be many things like
so
lithium ion is.
actually, only US, China, and small countries like this Afghanistan, and those have abundant resources of lithium, but not India is not lucky in that respect. Okay, so anyway, uh, so this is what we mean by the, that means any production system involves a transformation process, and these processes can be classified like this. And anyway, we said like now service sector is the most dominating one, right? Now coming to so here coming to types of production systems based on volume and variety dimension. That is, we have project type, unique product with a lot of complexity, job order type, batch type, and mass type. So uh, if you take volume variety, like for example, project type means like normally this is a product with a unique product. That means like for example, uh, like making James Webb telescope. It is a unique product with a lot of complexity. You know, the lifetime of Hubble telescope is coming to an end. So people are, they want to launch a substitute for Hubble telescope, and that has come in the form of James Webb telescope, right? Which is going to be launched maybe probably in December, where uh, it is going to be placed in one of the Lagrangian points in the space, and it is, in fact, the James Webb telescope is so complex. It is now behind the schedule by almost 10 years. Have you heard this James Webb telescope?
Yes, sir.
So this the James Webb telescope, a unique product with a lot of complexity. So in fact, the complexity is so high, like it is behind the schedule. This is being launched by NASA, and it is a very interesting. Like every one of you should follow the progress of the James Webb telescope. The beauty of that telescope, it has a lot of unique features, right? And it is almost a million times powerful than the current Hubble telescope in terms of complexity, right? So anyway, so a project means like it may be like most of the technology development, like ISRO developing cryogenic engine, or mm, like DRDO developing certain missiles. All these are project type, right? And then coming to job order type, see job order type production system here. So the variety is very high, volume is only one in the project type. Whereas here in job order type, volume will be 4 or 5. It may mostly single digit, but variety is very high. Like for example, if you take NASA, NASA has followed job order type of production system for its space shuttle uh, program. Like for example, it made 4 or 5 different kind of space shuttles, Challenger, Discovery, like that. So that is a job order. Whereas James Webb Telescope, they have developed only one. is a unique product with a lot of complexity, right? Job order type means you develop, say for example, ISRO developing a series of say PSLV-3 launch vehicles. So the kind of production system followed by ISRO for PSLV comes under the classification of job order type production system. Similarly, BHEL follows job order production system because they produce hardly around say 8 or 9 different kind of boilers, 200 megawatt capacity boilers or 500 megawatt capacity boilers. Similarly, they make generators, turbines, that is job order type. Batch type means 90% of the physical production systems belong to batch type. So here, you take automobile or take most of the. Huh?
Mobile phones also.
What is that?
Phones are smartphone, mobile phone, anything laptop. These are also batch production.
They come under mass type.
They
Because
do have variety, no sir. Single
see,
model
that
will
again,
be batch.
no, that depends upon again on volumes. See, like vaccines, for example, vaccine, COVID vaccine being produced by Covaxin or Covishield. See, those are all mass type because Covaxin and Covishield, there is only one type. Here, it is just opposite of project type. Mass type is where in project type you have unique product with a lot of complexity. That means volume 1, variety infinite. Here, volume is infinite, variety is 1, single digit. So Covishield vaccines, most of the vaccines are produced using mass production type of production systems, or the one which was invented by none other than our hero, one of the heroes of production system, that is Henry Ford. Henry Ford produced his T model black in color, no variety. I told you, no, he used to joke on the customers. You can take any car from me as long as it is T model, black in color. Period. That's all. So now also we can see mass type of production systems at the component level. Like for example, producing continuously 1 terabyte Seagate or Intel follows mass type of production system. Intel processors, like they produce in millions computer chips. Most of the computer related parts they follow mass production. Whereas batch type is normally now the preferred kind of production system for the assembled products. Wherever they follow some kind of modular approach. I told you, now, like for example, Dell. Dell follows. Uh, see, Dell may not be the appropriate example, but most of the automobile manufacturers they have shifted from mass type of production to batch type because like you don't have that luxury of what Henry Ford has. See, people want a bit of variety. So every automobile company is coming with at least 4 or 5 variations of the basic model, right? Diesel, petrol, then the kind of features they give for each is different. In fact, like now, automobile sector is no more following the mass type, except in electronics, like producing nuts and bolts uh, or diodes, transistors, whatever the component that are needed on a motherboard. Most of them are produced individually in a mass production scale, or sometimes even food items, like whatever you take, Kurkure or Coca-Cola bottling plants, they follow mass production only, right? So whereas batch type is followed wherever is a medium level of variety is there. So that is batch type of production system. So here, so project type, managing a project type of production system is the toughest one. Sometimes there will be a lot of delays. Like for example, like you take the James Webb Telescope, it is behind the schedule for almost 10 years. Because why they are taking so much time is because certain technologies they have to develop exclusively for the use of that James Webb Telescope. They had to do a lot of R&D, do a lot of experimentation. So there was a lot of cost overruns. Initially, they estimated that it will cost $10 billion. Now it went beyond that. So they have to gather resources. Even NASA had a resource crunch. Hey, now NASA has a lot of resource crunch. So that's why they are now hiring the services of Elon Musk to transport items to International Space Station. Like now, they have given subcontract to Elon Musk through SpaceX services. So like that. So here, James Webb, like the project type is because most of the project types they have to start the production system with incomplete information. Sometimes they may have to develop certain technology then and there, right? So here, so this James Webb Telescope is a anyway, as I told you, whereas mass production type is initially there may be a bit of difficulty in designing a mass production type of production system, but once everything is solved, you can run this type of production system on an autopilot. Autopilot means most of the automation you see in mass production type. Like for example, if you have seen certain episodes in National Geography, particularly the mega factories, there you see, particularly you have to watch National Geography program on Coca-Cola.
Yes, sir.
That in that particular one, you see that they produce PET bottles at the rate of 24 bottles PET, empty 24 PET bottles per second. This is the speed at which they produce. And the whole plant is managed by a single person. Because everything is synchronized, it is called a synchronized manufacturing. Because everything is balanced and everything runs on an automation. So transferring bottles from one station to other, filling them, capping them, everything is automatic. So they end up producing say 2 million or 3 million bottles per day. So you can see the beauty of mass production because only when they produce at that volumes, they can bring down the cost. See, finally, if they are delivering that Coca-Cola bottle, say 200 ml or bottle at 5 rupees or 7 rupees, it is all because of the mass production, right? Only thing is they sacrifice the variety. So here volume is infinite, variety is 1. Okay. Coming to uh, what are the competitive dimensions available for us? So as per the competitive dimension that you have you are selecting, you should choose the. So, if you look at the competitive dimensions, you can compete based on cost. You can compete based on quality. You can compete based on time. You can compete based on flexibility. What is your, on which dimension you want to compete? Like for example, if you take a cost dimension, like we have examples like Nirma. See, Nirma fellow is not fighting with Hindustan Lever. Nirma has, like, if you recall your marketing classes, see, every market is segmented. Whereas yeah, see, ITC has many products, but so see here, Nirma has decided that I should address the needs of the people. It is targeting a segment where people are sensitive to price. So, in fact, when Nirma has produced its first washing powder, it was 1/3 the price of Surf, which is the brand of Hindustan Lever. Then, after realizing that there is a huge market at that pricing level, even Hindustan Lever has started its own product called Wheel, which is a low cost version. Just like Intel started producing a low cost chip called Celeron to fight AMD. Right? So if you take Aravind Eye Hospital, they have Henry Ford's model. That means they do conduct eye operations where, like, the real guy who is going to do the final one, he will do only he will continuously do only one operation, one procedure only. Like for example, if you take cataract
Division of labor.
huh?
It's like division of labor.
Yes, division of labor. So, for example, like one fellow prepares the one at one stage, people give anesthesia, and at another stage of people give wash the eyes of the patient or preliminary screening of the eye. So it looks like if you go to Madurai, it looks like a mass production system. And they have, like, now Arvind Eye Hospital is listed as one of the greatest innovation, because applying mass production concept to a health sector, right? Because they offer at a very cheapest price to perform cataract. Right? So that is the one. So here the primary goal of Arvind Eye Hospital is to give better services for masses. So naturally, they have laid out their production system in terms of mass production system, right? See, even in hospitals, they follow division of labor, but here there is no, like, here they do repetitively in our Arvind Eye Hospital. So they do repetitively, right? So here, that is what we see in. So normally, whoever wants to compete on cost basis, they follow mass production systems. Then coming to quality, so you can compete on quality. Like for example, top quality. You take Ferrari. So top quality means, like, they don't mass produce. Ferrari cars are not mass produced. They are almost, Ferrari cars are assembled on a almost like batch or job order production system. There are few, and most of the Ferraris are custom specific. They are not like, for example, if they are competing in Formula One, uh, Formula One circuit. See, they configure their car to that particular competition. It is not a routine Ferrari. So that's why top quality Ferrari. So here, whereas there is another kind of quality dimension, that is consistent quality. That means if you take McDonald thing, what they follow is they follow batch type of production system with a mixture of customization, right? So we call it as, they follow what is so called ATO, assemble to order. That means they keep ready all the constituents of a Big Mac, and once a customer says I want a Big Mac, Maharaja Mac, they will combine all the ingredients and then heat it in a microwave and serve it hot. But the greatness of McDonald's is there is a consistency in the quality. Whether you eat Bashir Bagh McDonald or in Delhi Connaught Place, both the Big Macs, they taste the same, consistent quality. They see to it, anywhere in India, whoever eats Maharaja McDonald Mac, it tastes the same way. It is not like our local Punjabi dhaba. You depending on the mood of the cook, the taste of that parota or curry changes. Oh, on one day it looks good, and another day it may go bad. So, whereas McDonald, see, they have removed that variation in the taste. They have meticulously removed the human influence in the process. For example, it is said that the number of seeds they sprinkle in on each Big Mac is same. And those seeds will look very minute, but still, the number of speed, like for example, the seed that they sprinkle on each Big Mac is same. So that is so. McDonald's restaurants are known for consistency and quality, but at the same time, they also compete on cost. It is like almost working executives satisfy they're hungry. They just go to nearest Big Mac. Even for poor people also, sometimes it is a good option because they are not too costly, right? See, in fact, I don't know whether somebody is following my advice. How many of you started reading The Economist, my favorite magazine? Huh? See, The Economist. Are you reading The Economist? This is one of the greatest magazine, weekly magazine I ever know. Every one of you should read from beginning of the page to the end of the page. So, in fact, Economist comes with what is so called Big Mac Index. Because yes, see, to compare, like, see, GDP, if you compare to purely based on dollars, there is always a lot of mismatch. Say, for example, in pure dollar terms, our India GDP is $900. But if you end up using, like, but if you look at in terms of PPP model, our in terms of our purchase power parity, we call it as PPP, $6,000. Why? Because certain services in India are dead cheap. Say, for example, if you go to Nescafe, you get coffee for 15 rupees. Whereas you take the same Nescafe coffee, say in Switzerland, it costs you at least 150 rupees. If you convert into same taste, that means here currency even has a lot of, so currency, like, it may not be, our currency may not have good exchange value, but at the same time, in the local conditions, it has a lot of value. So, so what the economist did is it developed a special Big Mac index, because McDonald's operates in almost 130 countries out of 180 countries. So it compares in various, what is the, in terms of local currency, it compares the price of each Mac, standard Mac, and based on that it will say like whether a particular currency is overvalued or undervalued. And we have found that Big Mac, like through Big Mac index, we have found that our currency is undervalued. That's why, and that can be reflected in the form of this PPP, purchase power parity. So anyway, that is a different aspect. So now coming to time dimension, so you can say like delivery speed, Pizza Hut, on time delivery. Like you promise, give a time. Like on time delivery is followed by most of the fellows like DHL, FedEx kind of people. Then we have, like in Spider-Man, the guy, our, what is his name? Hero name? Harry, yeah? Peter Harry or whatever. So this man, like, if you are not serving the pizza in the right time, the customer will get the pizza free, right? That is a kind of, so development speed, like how quickly you come with introducing new kind of, what do you call, products, quickly introducing a product. Like Lee and Fung is a Hong Kong based company which is known for quickly, like textile, particularly they are into textile manufacturing, like they produce different kinds of clothing. Similarly, flexibility here we have different types of flexibility. So customization, like Ritz Carlton, this is a famous hotel. So what they do is they try to remember each customer's preferences when they check in. Say for example, a Ritz Carlton is normally, they target high net worth individuals. So naturally, when they come, they automatically rearrange the entire suit, like what kind of flavors they want, they like, what kind of bed sheets they want, what kind of services they look for. So automatically, like they try to understand their customers so well that most of the high net worth individuals are pleased with the services of Rich Carlton, right? Customization. And then coming to variety, we have Amazon. They say like we are the world's biggest shop. They say like we have varieties, like they have 12 crore worth of variety of products, right from bed sheet to whatever you want, right? As long as it can be tagged and added to that recently they have added books as well as movies, Prime Video. So the kind of variety they are handling, like they have 2 million, two million songs on their database. Probably they are catering to almost every language movies through their Amazon Prime. So variety is the option they have. And then volume flexibility. Like if you take Indian Railways, see they are ready to deliver a 15 MP or 25 IFS inland card to transporting coal for NTPC from Coal India mines to or Mahanadi coalfields to either local thermal power stations or NTPC, whatever. See, volume flexibility. They handle from letters to you name a. They don't say like we don't transport this, right? So volume flexibility is the feature of Indian Railways. So here, depending on the competitive dimension you are selecting, you have to correspondingly say, for example, like if you are going for variety, then you have to change your what do you call the options, right? So here that is about just 1 minute. So anyway, tomorrow probably I will be taking because tomorrow 10 to 11 I have an official engagement in the in the institute. So I will be taking 4 to 5 class tomorrow. Okay, and hope every one of you have prepared for the evening. What do you call for minor, right? Peter Parker. Yeah. Are Baba, like yeah, at least we will have some introductory topic on this. So tomorrow, you please attend. So because again we will be taking classes only after 12th. We'll be losing a lot of time. So anyway, you come tomorrow's class 4 to 5. Okay, at least we will come some MCQs only. Simple. A option, B option, like that. Okay. So 6 questions will come from management and 4 questions will come from marketing. Okay. So the exam starts at 5:15, 5 o'clock, and by 5:15 it will be over. So there will be 20 questions which you have to answer in 15 minutes, and it will be scaled down to 15 marks. Okay. So good luck for every one of you.
Sir, 1 minute. You told 4 questions from marketing and 6 questions from management, okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
And you are telling 20 marks.
Yeah, actually, we are giving weightage, I am saying.
2 marks for one question, okay?
See, that means out of 20, you get 12 from management and 8 from marketing.
Okay. Sir,
Okay.
for mid, we have 2 chapters. Okay.
2 chapters.
So, sir, number of question will be 10 and duration would be 15 minutes, right?
Not 10, 20.
Okay, sir.
Okay. 20 questions,
Sir.
15. Because it is ABCD only.
Sir, in today's exam, like Hawthorne experiments and the motivational theories, those are also included.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir.